there, you alright? We're now on the outskirts of Macclesfield, heading towards Bollington, where hopefully we're going to moor up. But we've seen several of these narrows. There's another one just in front of us now, where there used to be a swing bridge. So obviously lots of crossings, but there's lots of farms around here. So obviously used for farming and for produce, getting produce over to roads and the canals perhaps. Can be a bit nasty sometimes, very, very narrow. Always sad to see. Somebody's pride and joy, that was. Just going past Bollington Wharf here to the starboard side, and to the left the very impressive Adelphi Mill, former cotton mill, now apartments. We have just seen a sign saying offices to let, so there are obviously offices there too. Lovely. It's like being in Yorkshire already. You've got these beautiful dry stone walls, beautiful houses, and just as you come round the corner, Clarence Mill comes into view. Moored up. Suddenly got very windy, so I've just waited for the wind to go down a little bit. Clarence Mill in front of us. We're at Bollington. We are going to go for a walk around, and we will take you with us. I'm not sure if it'll be this afternoon or perhaps tomorrow, but we'll see. Catch you later. Morning. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, the 23rd of March, and it's time to leave Bollington. We've had a great couple of days here. We've explored seen many things, and more about that perhaps when we get going. But can you see that building? I'm trying to look on the screen. That building there, that used to be an ale house many years ago. It used to be called the Aqueduct Inn, and then it was the Navigation Inn. And I've been talking to the couple that actually live there now. But yeah, very tainted history about that place. It's now privately owned, but what a beautiful place, and it's easy to imagine it as an old ale house. It was really a hub of the community here when the mill was working. Unfortunately though, the ladies of the mill that were working there weren't really happy about this ale house. All them menfolk on a Thursday would go there and spend all the housekeeping money. Weren't very happy at all. Also, the owners of the mill weren't happy at all. The mill workers used to work on a Saturday morning, and all the menfolk from the mill, when they finished work, would go here. Gets slightly worse for weather. They used to stay there all night, and by the Monday morning they still weren't fit for work. So the owners put in plans to get this ale house closed, and they won. So it closed. Yeah, what a beautiful place. Just down from the ale house are the hole in the wall heritage steps. Now, we all went for a walk down here yesterday. They do get very steep, and then, as it says, when you get to the bottom there's a little hole in the wall that you appear back on the main road. It's just alongside the Dean Aqueduct here in Bollington, but we really have loved it here. Absolutely loved it, and it's a place we'd like to come back to. Well, I better get back to the boat. We're ready to move. Let's get going. Clarence Mill was built in 1834 by Martin Swindle Sr. and his good friends, the Brooke family. In partnership, they built this beautiful mill. It really is breathtaking. Brilliant. It looks a beautiful, lovely building now, and none of the original mills exist in there, but back in the day it would have been a very noisy place to work. Not a friendly place to work either. 15, 16-hour days, 6-year-old children scampering under the machines, picking up the offcuts and the rubbish and breathing in all the cotton dust. It must have been horrendous to actually work there. Unfortunately, none of the existing mills, the machines are in there now. They're all apartments and offices, and there are a few little businesses in there as well. But we've enjoyed our stay here in Bollington. Firstly, we have a couple of sincere thank yous. The first one is to Mr. Clive Pugh. He is an ongoing supporter of the channel, so thank you, Clive. But he got us a breakfast, shall we say. He treated us to a lovely breakfast in the mill yesterday. It's a lovely little restaurant, and little Dixie sat lovely and quiet. Wasn't it nice?
It was really nice, yeah.
Thank you very much, Clive. And yeah, the second thank you is to Mr. Mark Adrians. He's a friend of ours, and again, another supporter of the channel. And an old workboat went past that we recognised. It was a gentleman from down at Great Haywood, and he had planned for this gentleman to drop us off 2 bags of coal. Now, Mark is on holiday at the moment in New Zealand, and he still thought of the Juggerboat crew. Thank you so much, Mark. We couldn't quite believe it, could we?
No, I know, it's a surprise.
2 free bags of coal. Thank you very much. That's going to keep us warm. So thanks very much for your support, guys. Thank you. We all really enjoyed Bollington. The architecture there, lovely little cottages, little streets, couple of old closed pubs that have been converted, but one of the nicest places that we saw was Watson's Yard. And it was a small, what would you call it, darling? A small...
Like a courtyard, cobble's courtyard.
Yeah, a cobbled courtyard. It was beautiful, and it had a mill at the one end and lots of lovely little cottages that were built specifically for the mill workers there. Beautiful place. Bollington, I would say, is definitely worth a visit.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's one of the nicest little towns I think we've ever visited. It's got everything. It's got restaurants, shops.
A laundrette.
A laundrette. We didn't use it, but it has got a laundrette. And they're all close to the canal. Beautiful place. Come and visit Bollington. And there are our first little baby lambs of spring. Nikki spied them in the field there.
Gorgeous.
Aren't they beautiful? I'm sorry, but I did forget to tell you as well. If you remember that old ale house that I was telling you about earlier, I was talking to the couple that actually lived there, and when they were doing some alterations, they noticed where the seating used to be. You could see on the walls where the seats were and on the floor, and you could also see the marks from the hobnail boots that the boaters used to wear all over the stone floors. And in the cellar below where they used to home the horses. I don't know what's up with me this morning. What's up with me this morning? I can't talk.
8.
Yes, it's my age. Cheeky bugger. Yeah, they used to house the horses in a stable below the ale house, and they actually found hay mangers there that obviously the horses used to feed out of. Beautiful old place, and such a lovely couple they were too. You wouldn't believe it to look at it now, but rain just stopped playing. It hammered it down. We had the brolly. We were both huddled under the brolly here, the one brolly that we've got at the moment. But yeah, now the sun's out, but there does look black clouds over there. Nikki's just gone in to make us a nice lemon tea, but I think we're heading into more rain. Even though we explored Bollington pretty well, I definitely go back. There's little things about it, the way that the River Dean winds itself through the town. They've made little bridges and little caves for the river to go through. It was lovely. And the kiddies loved the playground there. They found a beautiful playground. So they had an hour or so there. It was just a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.